Hello, welcome to the tour of the Integrated Response to Intervention, Section 504 in Discipline Process Resource Centers. This short video provides an overview of the elements to look for as you take the tour. So what are Process Resource Centers? Process Resource Centers are web frameworks that place key organizational processes and their associated resources at the fingertips of practitioners for immediate access during a normal course of work. They are placed on the organization's internet or intranet and are accessible via computers, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. They work with point-and-click devices as well as touchscreens. Process Resource Centers are customized to visually and intuitively present how the organization's operations should be executed. They serve to get all stakeholders on the same page quickly and eliminate ambiguity and confusion. They serve as a base model for process governance and accountability, performance analysis, continuous improvement, and the visual alignment of systems, processes, and resources to the strategy and vision of the organization. We'll start at the home page of the Section 504 Process Resource Center. In the upper left-hand corner, you will see a spot reserved for the organization's logo. Next to the logo is the name of the specific Process Resource Center, this being the Section 504 Process Resource Center. Down the left side, in the gray area, is the navigation menu. The numbered steps in the navigation menu are links to specific workflows within the Process Resource Center. These are for dynamic navigation to specific workflows as desired. Further down the gray navigation menu is a reference section. It contains links to additional process support resources like forms and document libraries, process governance procedures and contacts, glossaries, and other helpful information. Every process has one or more events that initiates the process and one or more process endings. This process starts when a parent or teacher concern has led to a parent-teacher conference about Section 504 being a vehicle to help a student to become more productive. The possible endings are: the student qualifies for Section 504, the student doesn't qualify, the student continues within the program, or the student is dismissed from the program or transfers from the school. On this home page, the main central space of the screen contains a high-level diagram of the entire process. You could call this sort of a visual table of contents. There are four main process categories. They are 1.1, Initial Section 504 Referral, 1.2, Evaluate and Develop Plan, 1.3, Implementation, and 1.4, Additional Procedures. The next level of process elements are where the actual workflows reside. These are 1.1.1, Student identified as a candidate for Section 504 referral, 1.2.1, Assemble Section 504 referral student data package, and so forth. We'll go to the first workflow, Step 1.1.1, Student identified as a candidate for Section 504 referral. At the top of the workflow page are the breadcrumbs which help us navigate through the framework with next and previous buttons. Under the workflow name are four hot link buttons with additional information. The description button opens a box with the description for this particular workflow. The supplier button shows who's responsible for providing the input required to execute this particular workflow. The customers are those that receive the output from this particular workflow. And requirements are for any special requirements within this workflow. The importance here is the person responsible for executing this specific workflow is dependent upon the supplier to the workflow. If the supplier is late or the input from the supplier is incorrect or incomplete, that will affect the ability of this person to execute this workflow segment and to deliver the outcome of this workflow segment to this workflow segment's customer. To the right of the workflow name is a responsibility matrix which illustrates stakeholder accountability. Each button in the responsibility matrix opens a box that describes the type of accountability for specific stakeholders involved in this workflow. Responsible or those responsible for the proper execution of this workflow. accountable is normally the executive who owns the process. This person is the budget owner and ensures the process aligns with the organization's strategy. Consult, or those individuals may be subject matter experts with which input is sought. There is two-way communications with these stakeholders. Inform is the stakeholder that has no input but should or needs to be informed. There is one-way communication. The responsibility matrix title opens to another page or view which illustrates all workflows and stakeholders as they're involved with the total process. Now to the workflows. Process workflows are designed to visually illustrate the tasks within a process in the order in which they occur. Properly designed, workflows will take into account most variations that can happen. Within Process Resource Centers, we use 4 basic shapes to illustrate different workflow activities. Each workflow has a start and an outcome. This rectangular box with rounded sides represents starts and lists the inputs for the particular workflow. The same shape represents the stop and lists the outputs of the workflow. Square boxes are used to illustrate steps within the process. A question that requires a yes or a no, or a decision that offers alternative workflow directions, is represented by a diamond. Arrows are the 4th shape, and they illustrate the direction of flow and connect the steps within the workflow. In this first workflow, the inputs are the parent, guardian, or teacher or counselor's referral, the Section 504 referral form, the Notice of Parent and Student Rights, the Notice of Consent for the initial Section 504 evaluation form, and other items as applicable. Any items that are blue, highlighted, and sometimes underlined are hot links to and will open that resource. For demonstration purposes, we've substituted a generic document for the real resources. In this school district's practice, the campus counselor is responsible for the Section 504 process. So the first step in the process is a counselor is notified of a student candidate for a Section 504 referral. In this district's case, most of the Section 504 referrals come from response to intervention. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. So the counselor begins by filling in the Section 504 referral form. This is a link that opens up that form. Next, the counselor provides the Notice of Parent and Student Rights, another linked document that is available in English and in Spanish. The counselor then requests permission from the parent guardian for a Section 504 referral evaluation. We now come to our first decision element. If the parent says yes, the counselor continues in the process to the next workflow segment of preparing for the Section 504 evaluation. A Section 504 student data package is started. It contains the parent-guardian consent or refusal for the initial Section 504 evaluation, the initiated Section 504 referral data collection form, and confirmation that the parent received the notification of parent and student rights. Remember, most of the Section 504 referrals in this district come from the RTI process. So if the parent does not consent to the Section 504 evaluation, we click on the Return to RTI box and we're taken to Response to Intervention Process Resource Center. So this is one of the integration links between Section 504, RTI, and General Discipline. We'll close the RTI Process Resource Center for now, and you can view it later at your leisure. Return to the Section 504 Process Resource Center. We now want to go to the next step in the process. There are a number of ways of getting there. We can click on the next button in the workflow. We can click on the next button in the breadcrumbs, or we can click on the next step out of the menu. The menu allows us to jump around to the various steps as desired. So the next step is 1.2.1, Assemble Section 504 Referral Student Data Package. Another feature of interest is embedded additional information buttons. There is one in step 1.2.3a, Conduct Initial Section 504 Evaluation Meeting and Develop Plan. Information buttons are small orange circles with a lowercase I in the middle. Clicking on or touching an information button opens a box with additional information for that specific task. Additional information boxes may also have links within them as well. In this case, the special diet request forms would be available when those items are clicked on or touched. Navigation through any of the process resource centers is as instructed in this video. This concludes the video overview. Please feel free to browse the framework at your convenience. If you have any questions or recommendations, please feel free to contact us. Thank you for visiting and have a wonderful tour.